What's up, familia?
Hey, yo.
It's the Hitman and the Zombie Show. What are we here to do, senor?
Last of them. We're going to discuss the show. We've been talking about
We're
the
doing
Last of Us.
Last
Yeah,
of Us.
boys.
episode 3 called The Long... Oh, shoot. What's going on here? Sorry about that. Oh, my God. We got a clicker.
You found us.
He found us.
There
It's
was
called
only
Long Time.
in this episode. And it's weird because he had an eye. Ooh, creepy. All right.
Right off the top, it says we pay homage. It says Rip Annie Worcestershire.
Yeah, I was looking for that. That's good that they did that. That was cool.
She played the character of Tess in the video game.
Yep. So, kind of ironic that she passed right after tested. Crazy.
So she's like, I had to deliver this last performance.
Well, it wasn't her.
No, I know.
Jeez, come on.
I mean the voice actor. Anyways, sorry about that. Well,
but yeah, you
prayers
know
to the
what?
family.
Thank you for your contribution. Rest in peace. She was good.
How does this episode start, senor?
With the intro, like the one we just saw.
After that, we see Joe stacking up his chips, aka his rocks. He was stacking.
Yeah.
You know, he had like perfectly fat rocks just chilling on
That's
top.
it's cool. It's fun to do, but they say that's the biggest douche hiker thing to do.
Is it?
Yeah, because it messes up actual trail markers. It's like who says that? I mean, have you seen a trail marker? Because it's cemented in. It's not just rando ass rocks. Like, I don't know where you're hiking, but
Well, after that, he's like, well, instead of dropping, what's it, breadcrumbs, he's dropping rocks. So you're telling me that if you go back, he has like a pile of rock everywhere and a pile of dung everywhere? We went this way.
Well, it must work because he knew his way there, wherever he was going.
So after that, we cut to like in the woods, and we saw they're having a back and forth between Ellie the elephant, and Joel. She goes, what happened to her? Like, it was not my fault. You know, like, you guys took the mission. Nobody forced you guys into doing it. You guys wanted the battery. So I'm sorry.
Listen, I don't need your apologies. And she's like, yeah, all right.
I ain't trying to give it to you, man.
Stay in your lane, bro.
So per test request, Joel's on a mission to get Ellie to Bill and Frank. Bill and Frank sounds like one of those what's it called, where you go swap like a Funko Pop like type of store, like discounts. Yeah, exactly. The world's largest collect. Yeah, you're welcome. Free commercial for you guys. Not playing.
Frank might have sons. We don't know.
So they're on their way, and they're like, oh, where are we going? It's like the Ellie is like nonstop asking him questions about his cars, and then he gets annoyed like anybody would.
Questions, don't you?
He goes, yeah. It's like, what, are you gonna answer him? Well, it looks like Joe. Well, it's been a while since he's been around a kid, because man, that's what they do, and it's we love you, but stop it. So once Ellie goes into the rundown grocery store, it was like a local local pharmacy type of thing, right?
Yeah, it was like a 711.
711. So what Ellie finds? She finds this old arcade machine, which was
Mortal Kombat. Was it MK3 Ultimate?
Yeah. If you guys want to get your MK filled, check out the videos of us reviewing the Mortal Kombat movies.
Round 1, fight.
And then she goes into detail about Melina, which was like you know, Kevin again with the Kevin. Ed Boom is Ed Boom is going like, hey, they mentioned my game,
Yeah,
yay!
noob Saibot.
And then after that, Joel tells Ellie, don't wander off, you know, keep close. Like I will. I'm just gonna look back here.
And everywhere else.
So after that, she finds like an underground like a little storage thing. It looks like it had stairs, but they got demolished. So of course she jumps down, and all of a sudden, we she goes down there, and it's kind of dark. What do we hear, Senor? Oh my God!
Whoa!
We hear a clicking sound, like we don't know which way it's coming from because it's like I said, it's pitch black. It could be right behind her. It could be in front of her. We don't know. But we hear that. We hearing the. Oh, wrong one. I'm sorry. We're here.
Yeah. Ellie stumbled into a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Kind of ties in because the Las Vegas Raiders come out later on.
Oh,
so we
man.
hear the clicker sound.
Speaking of, you know how Raiders fans teach their kids how to count?
How?
0-1, 0-2.
Oh.
All right. Anyway.
So Ellie encounters a clicker, and then but this clicker is like stuck on the rubble.
Dude, hard. Again with the hard R. You got it. I know. I guess you're one of them. You can get away with it, but like. Anyway.
What happened?
All right, so this was really weird. All right, so he was trapped, and you're like, well, maybe he's probably gonna pop out or something, right? He's gonna be like, oh.
Yeah.
But no, he didn't. But his eye though, and it looked like his eye was like, yo, I see you though.
So it's moving around, and then Ellie finds not pleasure, but she's like, let me cut it. So he cuts him like above the eye, and you see that little worm thing.
Curiosity.
So she's like, she's looking at it, dude. I thought when she gets to the point where he stabs him in the eye, I thought she was gonna ring the dinner bell again. I thought it was connected to the hive, you know, like we saw in the last episode when Joel kills that guy and it connects to the roots.
You would think, right? I don't know. Who knows, like what the circumstances. Usually mycelium needs a lot of moisture and stuff to develop, and I guess there wasn't really any in there. Well, who knows?
It looks like he's been there for a while too.
Yeah, you didn't really see any evidence of anything else around him.
Yeah,
but that might have been kind of cool too. But the fact
what have you done, type of thing. But no,
out his eye, it was like, damn.
She did what's it called? Ambulgada.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's dead, like a Walking Dead type of kill, like to the temple and stop. So after that, she climbs back and he's like, oh, see, I told her it was not clear out. And she like, so she found what, Tampax, I think that it was, like the pearl.
Yeah.
So after that, the reason why Joe and them went in there because he has like a stash. So he finds his stash and he puts the rifle in there. And Ellie's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Dude, I have no ammo for this. It's gonna be useless carrying this around." So he puts it away and then carries what little med pack, right, that he finds.
Yeah.
Put in his bag, and then they're on the way. So this is where the hitman was 100% accurate on what you think what happened, because in the last episode he said, beware of the pancake mix, beware of the potatoes and all this.
Well, yeah, they did get into it, huh?
So they leave and they continue on their way, and then Ali is like, so what happened? Is like, he goes, was it a monkey, was it a bat? And he's like, no, like, don't you guys teach you guys, like, yeah, I went to FEDRA school, but you know, they're not gonna tell us the truth. And then Joe continues like, my guess it was, he says, what's it called? The cordyceps?
Yeah, cordyceps.
The cordyceps mutated and they got into the food supply. They got into the flour or the sugar. And then after slowly they got into the bread and all that pancake mix and it tainted the food. So I was like, when I was hearing that, I was like, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's plausible. It's crazy. Cordyceps sinistris is the most rare and expensive variety of mushroom there is. It goes for $8,000 to $50,000 a pound. The
Oh
only
wow,
the only way it grows is just the one that's consumed by caterpillars, and then it kills its host and spreads out from there. That's the
that's
only
wild.
way anyone ever figured out how to grow it. But there's another variety of cordyceps um, that is not nearly as difficult to grow, but it's still pretty difficult to come across. But that one is not quite as awesome as this one.
I'm surprised they didn't play the jingle for this one because you said it mutated.
Yeah.
Red Bob. Because
I guess I'm a mutant. Yeah, see,
I'm a,
I guess I'm a mutant. Huh?
because I'm a mutant now.
I smell mushrooms.
Uh, that'd be funny. Instead of getting turned into plans to get into a superpower, anyways. And then he continued saying people ate it. They got sick on Thursday, and by Friday night they were biting people. He says by Friday night, September 26, 2003. And that's where he was explaining that that's when it happened. And after a while, they continued down the road they're in. And then Joel was like, let's take another route. Just like, why? Just like, I don't want, there's something down there I don't want you to see. And he's like, oh, now I got to go see it.
Yeah,
Uh, and you're like, why? Could it hurt me? He's like, no, but I don't
that's
want you
because
to
they're
see it.
writing it real, like with her asking a lot of questions and being like weirdly curious about everything, and
Yeah.
like that line right there was like, oh, now I gotta see it. Like, yeah, that's a kid. Um, and it's funny because she's not really a kid, but like she's playing a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, I like there's a new trend with good writing where people are generally just writing like things you would actually say, and I'm here for it.
And it's funny still, like sometimes like I had, like I said, I watched the show, listening to my headphones, and I have to step away really quick from my phone. And then when Joel was talking, I'm like, Mando? He
Yeah.
has that impression, I was like, Grogu was there? It's hard to
Grogu.
split them after you heard their voice, right? So that's what I keep getting. So after you see it, you can unsee it. So he goes, and then they see like it's just a pile of bones, dead body. Well, it's just bones of people, and then little bones. And then he continues to tell his story. It says Joe continues and it says the soldiers told the people because they evacuated him that they're going to go to a QZ, and then that's when it was revealed like if there was any more room for them. If not, they got the order to kill him. And that's when Ellie said like they weren't even infected, were they? And she's like, no, they were not.
Yeah.
And then after that, it flashes back to 2003. We see that person. It was a girl and a baby who was among the pile of bones. Damn. So after that, we meet up Bill. After everyone was taken, the soldiers went inside his house, and of course they didn't find him. He was like underneath the bunker type of thing.
Not today.
Not today, you
That's big
something a
brother.
hoes. So yeah, he became a survivalist. He after he waited until everybody came out. I mean, he left, and then he created his little own town. He took over the town. He
He's
fenced
some
it
kind of weird
in.
snipe prepper.
Yeah,
Survivalist.
survivalist man. So he has stockpile of guns, ammunition, food. He starts building fence around his house, this little town, electrify it. He creates traps all around that. Man, became the live embodiment of Home Alone, bro. But to
Yeah.
a zombie apocalypse, he summoned his inner Kevin.
It must
Kevin.
have been pretty effective if he only ever needed the one gun to come out.
I know, right? But it was cool though seeing him like he jacked the boat for some reason. I don't know why he jacked the boat. He never went on the water, but
What the hell was a boat for?
I know. And then he he got barrels of gas with like only what 4 drums, right? Full of gas, and then yeah, he went to a Home Depot, and then he know the lights go out on him. He's like, oh, that was fast. So I guess he already knew where it was. So he went back. He freaking rammed the fence. He turned the gas back on. She's like, hey, my little town. That
Yep.
was pretty cool. It was like MacGyver fool. So after that, Bill's underneath, working on another invention of his, and then that's when
Yeah.
his alarm gets tripped, and then he goes inside the hole. He goes outside with a shotgun, and he sees, dude. Imagine he would have put like spikes underneath. You know, you could say, well, we meet someone that fell for Bill, and his name is Frank. You could say that Frank fell for Bill.
He couldn't get out of his hole.
Oh my goodness. So here, Kevin Frank pleased his case that please I I've been eating under 2 days. It's like, can you help me, please? It's like, oh,
Doesn't
it was
sound
only
like a
you.
lot now that I've said it out loud.
He's trying to go to Boston. He's like, all right, Boston is that way, bro. Good luck. He's like, but I haven't eaten, and he's like, Boston is that way.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I'm not trying to ring a bell here, because if I tell you to come in, you're gonna be telling everybody else to come over here, and this is not an Arby's.
You still had to pay at Arby's.
I know. That was funny.
Good point.
So eventually he gives in. Bill's like, all right, come in. So he lets him take a shower, and he looks like he's holding his clothes, and he's like, knock knock, and he puts it down. It's like, can I have some more 5 minutes in here? It's so amazing. Okay, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
But he's playing it like he's like, damn, should I damn.
Trying to sneak a peek.
Yeah. He's really thinking about risking it for that biscuit,
So like, I like it here. I want to stay.
Yeah.
Begs the question. So yeah, so after that he goes down there, and then Frank and Bill are sitting at the table, and he goes, scrumptious. I'm like, oh, please stop. And you see Bill twirling his hair. You saw that? He went something like that, to that effect. And that's when everything started clicking. I was like, oh, it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Frank is looking at the piano, and he gets up like, is that an antique? But it's funny because Bill was like, keep telling, all right, so you're going to be on your way. He goes, before I leave,
Yeah.
he's of course stalling. He doesn't want to leave. And then he goes, plays a song that Bill loves. And then he gets up and gives him a passionate kiss. And we're like, whoa.
Was he trying to give him a mushroom? Is he a French kisser?
It's a French kisser. And then and then that's where Frank tells Bill, go upstairs to take a shower. He's like, what? Go take a shower. He's like, all right. And yeah, you could just imagine what happens. And then it says, of course they go in bed and talk about the stinky and the pinky. Like, I haven't done it in a while. It's okay, just relax, type of thing.
I haven't done it in ever.
Oh my god, it's a scene. I don't know. Once you see that, it's like two bears just like, har.
Hey, they really went for it.
That's what I know exactly. They're probably naked underneath there, and
yeah,
why not? Get the full experience.
They were, and dude, like Nick, like the Bill, he looks so in his element.
Yeah.
Before they aged him up, just with his beard,
with the beard and everything, with the long hair.
Because he's an expert woodworker, and he does all those handcrafts and stuff. So I mean, it's really not much of a stretch to see him being this guy.
Got you. Yeah, you like yeah. So they and after that says 3 year later. So it's progressing through their love story. It's like a wholesome love story throughout the years of this pandemic, and after that says 3 years later, and then that's when they meet Joel and Tessa because
Well,
Frank
speaking
was
of
on
bears,
the. There you go, the two bears are.
all right.
So Joe and Tessa was they met because Frank was always on the radio talking to Tessa, and it's like, and then Bill gets to say like, "You did what?" Because he's telling him, like, we're gonna have any friends. Like, I'm tired of living as us two. We're gonna
Yeah.
communicate and this and that. But it's funny. Like before, like Bill's all secluded by himself, and once he meets Frank, he's like opening up more,
Yeah, it is.
or vice versa.
That but yeah, like he's forcing him out of his comfort zone, and he's like, "Okay,
Exactly.
I'm here for it. I like it."
You
Yeah,
could tell
it's,
who wears the pants in the relationship.
mm. But yeah, I like that dynamic. That was pretty funny.
And then Joe warns Bill about the Las Vegas Raiders moving up.
Yeah,
Because they're gonna be Raiders. They're gonna come in that night. That's the only way they could score points. So they're like, okay, so they start a partnership on even though Bill is like kind of reluctant to do it. After that, another 3 years pass, and then that's the Raiders finally show up. It's a dead of night. You see like they're walking, and you hear he trips the alarm, goes "Dit, dit, dit, dit," but they don't hear it, of course. And then you see it's the grinders, right? The grinding with it's causing spark, and all of a sudden
yeah,
you see this freaking shot, not a shot, it's like a flamethrower, right, with the gas coming
it's a
at
flip.
him. He goes, he's like, ah. Then we
Yeah,
hear
it's,
gunshots going crazy, like a war zone. The same guy's still burning on the ground.
yeah,
They try to put him down, then the other partner gets freaking inflamed. And then Bill was like, "Get inside the house, Frank." He's like, "What's going on?" Like, and of course, that moment of distraction, Bill gets shot. Just,
the whole time I was like, man, what if they were just like Girl Scouts? Like, it could have been anyone. It
like
even
some
says that in it.
cookies.
Like
Yeah.
later, it's like, yeah, and nobody could just approach. It's like, all right, Bill, if he's not watching his like get off on someone getting shot cam, his snuff cam,
I
maybe he
know, right?
could even we don't even know if he could disarm the traps. I mean, I doubt it, right?
That's
Like
true. There's no safe
watching on the
code or
camera, what if he
anything.
watches and it's like it's his mom, and he's like, oh well, I can't
Mom,
get out.
watch out for that. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So after that, of course, he gets shot, and Frank is like, "Hold me, hold me." He brings him in. Then he washes his hands. Then, of course, he cures him. And then it goes face to black.
you'll
And then
take
he
care
goes,
of
and then we all thought he was dead, but no, he goes, Frank goes, Bill. He waves, huh? He goes, Bill,
yeah.
it's getting cold. Yeah,
Plot
like
twist.
Bill's getting
It's
cold.
not
Like
the wheelchair.
we thought he was gonna be in the wheelchair, but Frank ended up in the wheelchair. And then it says 10 years later. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Present
Can you
day.
imagine just being on just there, dude?
It's the worst places to be in that world.
That's true. But I was just like, damn. So after that, we see Kevin, Frank is
Kevin.
we see Frank. He has to take meds. Where they get the meds? Probably from the trade, but at that point, hey, you know where that's where he probably was getting them from when Joe gave that to the guard, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so, right? But he didn't. We didn't see any mention of continuous contact other than the
The radio
fact that
stations, right?
he was still on Bill's mind. Like
Yeah.
other than that, we didn't. There was no like trace of them interacting really, except for I guess that there were more plants planted.
Hmm.
I mean, that was like another indicator in that there were fresh plants. Um, but yeah, no, who knows? I mean, but Bill had run of that whole ass town.
Yeah,
So
sure.
whatever was in that town, nobody else touched.
So it's all little stockpiles that he had around because he
Yeah,
always changing his clothes and all this. So I was like, I'm going to the mall really quick.
yeah.
So yeah, so Kevin, he's sickly, of course, and then that's when Kevin says, you know what?
Neither one
I,
of them is Kevin.
I mean, why do I keep saying Kevin? It's a Kevin and Bill show.
So Kevin's
Why do
really
I say?
sick, right? And then Kevin's like, "Hold me, Kevin. I love you, Kevin." And then Kevin is like, "Kiss me, Kevin." And then the Kevin's kiss Kevin.
Where the fuck is Kevin?
All 7 Kevins. Come on.
Sheesh. Sorry, Frank and Bill. Fucking Kevin.
And Steven.
Ugh. So Kevin is saying, you know what? This is Kevin. Frank is saying, you know what? I, I don't want to do this no more. He's like, what do you mean? It's like, I think it's time for you to let me go.
He said, Tupac, I wake up in the morning and I ask myself,
Should have put a cap on myself. Sheesh. So I was gonna say Kevin again. Frank tells Bill, it's like, this is what you're gonna do. You're like, we're gonna get up. We're gonna go. You're gonna plan a wedding for us. We're gonna get married. You're gonna give us a fine dinner, and you're gonna put that medicine in my wine. You're gonna do it in front of me, and I'm gonna drink it. And then you're gonna be on your way, and you're gonna leave me in the room. And that's what we see. Like it progresses to like whatever he wanted. They get married in front of the piano. They're all dressed sharp. Homie Bill is he made the awesome dinner for him, and that's when it
it was
came.
the first dinner. It was the same one, the rabbit and whatever. He even did the same gestures.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
That's
rabbit
kind of
tusk.
that's kind of crazy, dude. So he of course, they finish eating, and he pours the wine, and he crushes up the medicine. He puts it right in front of him, and he gives it to him. I thought it was gonna be like a switcheroo type of thing. Like, no, like,
No,
don't do it.
no, I mean, he saw him. That's why he did it that way. He did it right in front of him. But I knew, like, I was like, dude already poisoned the whole ass bottle. Like,
I didn't know that. I was like, what?
I saw it coming.
So homie is like he gives it to Frank, and he downs. He just goes, and then Bill gets his same wine, and he just chugs it. And then
Red wine.
and that's when Frank goes. That's where he realized. He's like, "What the hell you did?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You put the thing inside the bottle, didn't you?" He's like, "Yeah, enough
No,
to
horse
kill it.
guard.
Yes, enough to kill an elephant, Ellie the elephant,
A horse.
or a horse, or a tiger, a Bengal tiger."
It's enough to kill a Kevin.
Come on. So yeah, so he tells him like, I am fulfilled. My duty was to protect you, and I love you so much that without you, there's no point of me being here. I was like,
Yeah.
so he
Looking then
tells,
like friends
yeah, go ahead.
everywhere were like, you wouldn't drink the poison from me. It's like, only one way to find out, right? Like,
So they both, and he goes, you know what? Take us to bed, Bill. And he goes, okay. So it's a sad montage. He's walking to the bed, to the right, to close the door. And that's when we get our heroes, Joe and Ellie. It's probably what, months after?
yeah, I think. Don't quote me. And so that occurred in August, and I believe the current date when they're out doing that thing is September.
September, right?
It was like very shortly. It was like a week or a couple weeks later.
So Joe and Ellie make it to the gate. Of course, Joel knows the combination, the toot, 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 toot. And they go in. If not, you're like, so they
Yeah.
walk in, and then he's asking for Bill, Frank, He's like, and then Ellie goes, "What happens if they would have left?"
Well, then they would have just had run of whatever they had left. Pretty much the same end result.
True that. And then that's where Joe's scoping out the house, and that's where Ellie finds the letter with the key. And then she reads it, and he goes, "We dead." It was it was a nice sentiment. It's like, here, take whatever you need. Whatever was ours is yours. You know. And he goes, save who you can, and take your, what he says, like, take these weapons so you could protect Tess. You know.
So you can save Tess. But it was like, and then Ellie was like,
yeah. Like, give me that letter. So he's looking at it. I like how the camera zooms in and it's just that word. It says save Tess.
Yes. Yeah.
Makes you focus on that. I was like, nice touch. Mm-hmm. And then he goes outside, of course. He's like trying to hold it together. He grabs the note. He's like, we're assholes. I lose you too now, Tess. I have no one left. Again, he's alone.
Well, he has his brother, whoever he is.
Oh, that's true.
That's his motivation.
So, of course, they get everything they need. Of course, they get all some weapons, food, clothing.
There's a whole wall. And he's like, no. Like, how do you not, man? I would take all those. Like, you kidding me?
Grogu, no.
Well, oh. Like, I don't know. You could at least, like, take them and stash them elsewhere along the route.
There you go.
Apparently, that's the thing he did, but I guess he doesn't do it now.
I mean, he has a safe check. He did a safe spot, so he could always auto respawn.
Well, yeah, but that save Tess, and you can't do that.
Oh, he forgot to save before they killed her. That's what happened. Yep. So he hit save, and then it saves right up to that point. It's like,
oh man, how many? When it freaking auto saves when you're like boned.
I know, right?
Drop back in the game, and you're like, oh shit, this again.
You're like, your life is like in the red in the meter, and then you're like only have like limited ammo, and you have to auto spawn. I'm like, no, not here.
Oh, that happened in Resident Evil 4, and I have yet to beat that game because of that. Thank you.
It keeps going back to like, stop it.
I did not even get very far.
Infinite loop on that one. So yeah, so they get everything. Of course, they get ready to go. They have to do a side quest, put the battery back together and everything, and yeah, they get in the truck. And then Ellie is all excited because she's never been in a car before.
Yeah.
Like, was this a car? Yeah, put on your seatbelt. What's the seatbelt? So she puts on the seatbelt, of course, and then we're gonna go meet my brother. You know, he's somewhere out west. He used to be a Firefly. He knows where everything is, so we're gonna go meet up with him.
So sometimes his butt still sparkles. This is really cute.
So yeah, and after that, you know, they drive off. They push the code in the big ass. The gates open. We start panning out. We're gonna go inside where Frank and Bill. I think they show their bodies, but thank God they didn't.
Yeah.
So we're looking outside the window, and you see the car go drive off.
Because they were probably mid penetration.
No. One last time, brother. And it's like, okay. One for the road. He's like, one for the road.
Whose road?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so that whole thing is funny because this episode, as far as everyone I've talked with about it, has been pretty divisive. Me personally, I thought it was good world building, and it was nice to know the characters and stuff, even though they died at the end.
Yes,
they still contributed to Joel's cause and what made him who he is. You know, I think it was relevant, and I liked the storytelling aspect of it. Well, a lot of people just say it stagnated the story.
I mean, I like it too because it's the wholesome story of love throughout this whole pandemic thing.
Yeah.
And then the Survivor just with two people or not. Even like biting a strawberry brings orgasm or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Tears.
So, another thing, this whole Bill being gay thing, so it was very slightly hinted at because Ellie was digging through his stuff and she found some gay porn.
Whoa.
That's it. That's what lit this whole episode. Was just that one tiny little detail.
Yeah.
And the fact that they find this minutia of information and they build upon it so much, to me that's interesting as hell. And part of what makes this magical is like you can take, like, we didn't see this in the game, obviously we didn't see very many other perspectives, and
Yeah.
that's the magic of what they are capable of doing. It's like building upon it, you know.
And they also said after the show ended that in the what's it behind the scenes, like they said that with if they could see that if it's worth to deviate from the main arc, they're gonna do that. They said they're gonna because in the game, Bill, they said that in the game, I was gonna say Kevin Frank is dead already, and then they really get touched upon. So they said like it would have been cool just to explore that world, just explore that thought. So they said that when they have a chance to deviate from the actual main arc and story, they're gonna do that if it's worth it, you know, not to ruin the integrity of the main story going forward. So that's why they sprinkled kind of advancements because it was you see Ellie and Joel, and then it cuts from here to there. It's all the act 2 is Bill and Frank story, and then comes back full circle back to Ellie and Joel's continuation of piecing it together, meaning the reason why they got there, you know, is like they're like give you a backstory like who Bill and Frank was. Bill and Frank was. It gives you like why they need to go get see them, you know, because they know them, and now we know like, oh, okay, that's the reason why. Like because if now you're like go see Bill and Frank, you're like, who the hell is that? Because you're like,
Yeah,
you know. But it was cool, you know, seeing that love and making it flourish.
And cells, you know where the damn story's going. What do you? You're such a rush to get there. Jeez. But another thing too, the guy who played Bill, Nick Offerman, he said he hasn't played a video game since he rage quit Banjo-Kazooie.
No way. That's a cool game though.
It's a good game, man. Even the sequel was good too, man.
Start flying with the bird in the back.
I mean, like, if you're gonna rage quit, why that game? Like, what the hell, Bill?
All right, how about this, Bandicoot or Banjo-Kazooie?
Wow. No, I would say like Spyro versus Banjo.
Okay, I see that.
But also, like, I never actually played Banjo. I think I played it for like a few minutes. I know from what I've seen of it that it's a good game. But personally, I never played it really, other than like at a homie's house.
There you go. His name was not Kevin, right?
But, so I mean, I played the Spyro, and then Spyro got franchises up to culo. So I mean, clearly Spyro was like the fan favorite.
Yeah, it took off. You know, has Spawnless. It got remade and remake for the Switch and all this. So
yep.
Even the PlayStation properties became Switch properties. So
Banjo seems like a lot of fun.
Oh no, dust off the Banjo-Kazooie CD and pop it in.
It's a rare replay, man. It's on current gen.
Never mind then. Get the nostalgia feeling. You pray. You have to pray that it reads the disc. Like, please, 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 and then you get the dead screen. Like it says, "Can I read this?" Like, no.
Yeah,
never hear blowing on it, putting it, spinning it.
Since we're getting way off topic, I'm gonna get into the HUD of the freaking Switch is like a ghost town. Like who remembers like firing up the Wii, and then like all this crazy music would be playing, and then there was like the whole Mii builder, and it was like a whole thing. and there was just like, so much personality. Switch ain't got no personality,
You
man.
got no personality. As soon as you get in, you get the game screen in front of you, like, all right, what do you want to play? I was like, oh,
Hey,
okay.
get to it.
Get
Ain't got
to
no
it.
take.
Tap
You
it
gonna,
and play.
you
That's
gonna
it.
jingle? You gonna jingle me? You gonna snap at me? Hurry up.
But the only thing it does do if you hit the menu, it goes doo 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 with the remotes, right? It goes choo choo. You go back, forward.
Yeah,
It goes into the menus and all that.
I'm just saying, man, that we had so much more personality.
Well, yeah, back to the last of like I'm saying it's cool. You know, I like the progression of the story. You know, it didn't give it to you all at once.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Give it all
I
at once.
I'm more intrigued than
Hey.
Miss. By this time, episode 3 and Miss Marvel was already tapping out, but this is like has me more hooked in. So on to the next one.
Yeah, yeah. And I saw the preview for the next one, and yeah, I know where in the game it is.
As long as it doesn't start becoming The Walking Dead and dragging, I'm fine with it. But if it starts doing that, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Nah, the next if it looks the way it's going, then the next 2 episodes at least are going to be pretty interesting.
Do you think it's gonna drag on to a season 2, or is gonna get a full conclusion this season?
Well, what they said is, The Last of Us Part Two, the game,
Yes.
is bigger than, and even the gaps between the two is bigger than just one more season.
Oh
So they're
shit.
already talking it up like it's going to be like 3 or 4 seasons.
Oh wow.
And I don't know, it could be decent.
I'm just looking at my eyes right now. Look how slightly obscure they are. Anyways, look at that. What the hell, man? The magic of what am I looking at? Anyways, so yeah, guys, this is our thoughts on episode 3. You know, and we it's a thumbs up for us. You know, for me, Kevin, and so yeah. So like we said, we love it. We're gonna continue on pushing forward until Ant-Man and the Wasp drops.
Quantum Mania!
Mania, we're gonna dip our toes in that too. So stay tuned
Night.
to the channel. More shorts, more everything coming. An announcement coming in 2 weeks. If it goes through, you'll find out what it is. For everybody here.
We're adopting.
For the survivalist man, I'm the clicker zombie. This is and has been the Him and the Zombie Show. Last of Us episode 3. Till next time, much love. Peace.